All right, am I on? OK, good. This is one of my favorite parts of VentureBeat's events. We do the Innovation Showdown. It is a chance for early and mid-stage companies to show what they've got in 5 minutes or less. It's a brutal, no-holds-barred competition. The prizes are to die for. We have 2 of them right here. You can see it's a really, really nice trophy right there. It says MobileBeat Innovation Showdown on it. I will explain the rules in a minute, but first let me welcome the judges. So please come out and join us here, judges. We'll start with, Brendon Kim, Managing Director of Strategic Investments Group at Samsung's Open Innovation Center. Who we've got next? Kira Wampler, who's the Chief Marketing Officer of Trulia. Hello again, welcome back to the stage. We've got Todd Rumberger, who's a partner at Foley and Lardner, LLP. Welcome, Todd. And then we've got Charles Beeler, who's a general partner at Icon Venture Partners. Good to see you again. OK, we've got 10 companies in all. They're early and mid-stage. They each get 5 minutes, and then there's 1 minute for judge questions. I'm not a judge. I'm just the facilitator. But if I can't control myself, I may ask a question or 2 as well. We'll see. I get excited sometimes. The competitors can show videos, and they can demo their products, obviously, but no PowerPoints. So deduct points if they try to sneak a PowerPoint slide into a video, OK? No going over the time limits. We will cut you off if you go over. And then after all 10 presentations, we're going to do the early stage ones first and then the late stage ones. Then after all 10 presentations, the judges are going to go backstage. Some other stuff will happen here on stage. The judges will confer, and we will reveal the winner at the end of the conference. We're also going to allow audience voting via text message, and we'll display info on how to do that after you've seen all the presentations. If I'm not mistaken, you'll be able to use Bizzabo, which is our conference app that we're using to vote, or SMS. Yes, that's correct. OK, so the prizes include that exciting Lucite trophy there. It will look good on any corporate lobby in your headquarters. We'll also be writing about the winners on VentureBeat in a post. And you will also get a free pass to the VentureBeat event of your choice. And of course, undying fame and glory. All right, let's go to the early stage competitors. The order of presentation is alphabetical. And through sheer alphabetic coincidence, the first one up is a company that is actually in the list because they were voted up by you guys, by everyone here, and that is Command IQ. So Noah Jessup is going to give the presentation. Give him a welcome.
All right. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for voting us up here. We're totally flattered to be on stage and share a little bit of our story with both you and the judges. So Command IQ is a company that is the easiest way to send individually tailored, targeted calls to action to your customers across email and push notifications. And unlike anybody else in the market, we were built with the intent of mobile not just being a silo, but another touch point for your customers that you have on web, in traditional email marketing, tying everything together in one place. So we help companies take advantage of the data that they already collect and put it into one place where they can take action on it. So my background, my last company was in social games. We were one of the first companies to build slots and bingo apps across Android and iPhone. We also had a web property and Facebook games and ran into the challenge of we had 10 million users our first year in market. So sending the right message, find the users who, let's say, have had at least 10 game sessions, haven't yet made a purchase, and haven't returned to site or to app in 5 days. Sending the right call to action, measuring it, and actually showing that it increases the total amount of engagement or eventually the lifetime value. So I'm going to take you very quickly through our product for folks that are sending push notifications or emails. This may look kind of familiar and up your alley. And for everybody else, we can just talk about how you can kind of use data to improve your business. So for example, what we have here, we think of these things in 3 pieces. 1, the segmentation. Secondly, the message. And then lastly, the automation. So here we can say quickly, just from any events that are sent to our system, and this is via a server-side API via batch uploads, via your existing ETL, however you want to get data into the system, we can say, quickly segment, these are people who haven't had a session in the last 2 weeks across any platform, have spent less than $50, and have never matched this campaign at least 3 times. Then we can quickly build a message like, hey, here's more items in a category that you viewed. Come shop. And this personalization is one-to-one based on the events that are actually taking place. So before you worry about connecting your existing data into some third-party system to try and figure out demographic, just take advantage of the fact that you already know somewhere on the web somebody's going into the search bar on your site and looking for a specific kind of product, for an e-commerce example. And so here you can quickly A/B test different types of push notifications or emails. And here you'll see we've handled a lot of the hard stuff, like having a control group that goes untouched, so that you can actually show, did my messages lead to increased engagement, increased revenue, or am I actually driving uninstalls that are too high versus those users that went untouched? The other piece, so rather than us saying we provide email deliverability like any other email company, we actually work with all the major email deliverability providers you already use. So we'll bolt right on top, be able to pull out the clicks and open data. So you can easily say, look for somebody who shopped for a product on my mobile website, didn't make a purchase, and is still actively reading emails in my main email marketing, and send them a tailored call to action with a special coupon code, and show whether that actually drives results for your business. So this kind of stuff we've found with our customers makes a world of difference before having to worry about anything like predictive algorithms or the stuff that you can get into while you're at greater scale. As for us, we're totally excited. I just got some numbers back from a customer. Unfortunately, it's not through the legal department yet to share who they are, but they have a really, really exciting business. And the tailored targeted emails that we were triggering on their behalf based on behavioral data actually led to a revenue increase lift of 80% compared to the control group. So we're very excited, and so if you're sending push notifications or emails and you think you can use data that's happening somewhere in your system to make those more tailored, more targeted, and better for your users, we've got a little tiny table out in the nest, and we'd love to meet you and either share what we see that's working well in the marketplace or see if we can help you. And thank you to everyone who voted. We're so thrilled that people care about data to make messaging better. Thank you.
Awesome. Judges. I think it's on.
Okay, great. So are you focusing on small, SMB or large enterprise in terms of your initial rollout?
We say any company that has 1 million or greater users truly has a data problem, and actually we do really well when it's 50+ million users, because that's just a very challenging problem at scale that we can handle.
So these are all registered users already with email? Registered
or cookied. Either doesn't matter. We can track across and then map.
And do you provide some analytics on the data so that are you suggesting segmentations, or does the customer have to come up with their own segmentation?
We'll work hand in hand with customers to define segments where there's not enough data for predictive analytics to suggest. And then in our reporting, you can tie success to say, this customer went on to make a purchase within 7 days after receiving this message, or on any other kind of metric that's important for your business.
OK, awesome. Noah, thank you very much. All right, our next contestant coming up is Cortado AG. And our presenter is Tien Nguyen. Oh, I got a thumbs up. All right. I was worried about saying your name wrong.
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you very much. So thank you, first of all, for being here. It's such an exciting event, and it's such an honor to speak here in front of you all in San Francisco, the capital of tech. So what are we doing? We want to revolutionize printing. We want to make printing so easy that it's just thinking of a data and pointing your device at any printer and let your documents come out. So first of all, a question, who of you in the audience never had printing issues so far? Yeah, as I could have told, not too many. So people are still very terrified of printing. I found this post on Reddit, and this guy said, man, if this Terminator thing comes reality and Skynet becomes a real thing, hopefully printers won't be a part of it. And because of that, we gave it a lot of thought. And what's so complicated about printing? So basically, you have two devices, for example, this one and this printer, who have to communicate with each other, but they talk totally different languages. You have to hook them up. You have to install drivers. You have to figure out what model you have. You have to hook the device on the same network. It's so frustrating, and it's a frustrating experience. So we sat together and gave this some thought, and we were coming up with our solution. We have probably the most experienced printing administrators at our company. So why don't we just move all the complex parts from you away into the cloud and do these things for you? So what we are doing is we're hosting all the printer drivers that you need, and we will make sure that your printer is getting connected. And with this, I would love to start the demo and just show you how it works. I've prepared a prototype for you. Thanks. So basically, what's the idea? Imagine you are landing on an airport. You just finished a document, or you just finished a document on the go, and you arrive at your branch office or any place where you see a printer. What do you normally do? I don't know. Usually it's, hey, I sent you an email. Could you please print it for me? But why do you have to do it so complicated when it's much easier to do? So you open any data, any file, any document with our app. It will be prepared. I prepared one file for you because the internet connection at such events. The file is uploaded, rendered in our cloud. And what you're then going to do is just find such a printer. These printers, we enable everybody to connect their printers. Once their printer is connected with our cloud, they automatically print out these great codes. So it looks like this. It's just a QR code. And this QR code contains all the necessary information for us to figure out what printer model it is, where do we, how can we connect to it, and how can we send it the print file. So I just start the scan button, and then this shows up. Usually you can stick these codes right at your printer. There you can see the MobileBeat printer is already chosen, and I chose the file and hit print, and it's already doing something. And there you go, the file is sent. It has figured out in the cloud which model it was, rendered the file, and has just sent it over here, and you're good to go. What does this enable you to do? So practically, everybody can connect its own printer with the cloud. You can share printers easily with each other, and you can even charge the use of the printer. So as we are in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, let me translate it for you. We are building the Yo app for printers, which enables you to Airbnb your printer and helps you to find the next one. Thank you for your attention.
Number 14.
I got it. What's your revenue model?
Our revenue model depends on 3 pillars. So actually, we're doing on business, public, and private. So the business model is for business that we are enabling companies to hook up all their printers to enable their employees to print easily. The public model relies on revenue sharing so that you can just, at a public place, for example, a Starbucks, you can set up a printer there, just let it standing there with the code, no maintenance at all. Everybody is charged as much as you want to. And on private, we think it should be free as we're building up a big community to enable them to print.
Are you storing anything in the cloud?
Of course not.
It's just,
No.
it's just getting sent, right?
It's
How do you enroll the printer?
It's stored temporarily. Of course, we have to store it temporarily if the printer is not available or it isn't reachable due to electricity outtake. We will store it, but once
until it gets delivered, yeah.
yes, but once it's delivered, it's directly deleted, and we won't have any access, not at any time.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Our next contestant will be Expect Labs with Timothy Tuttle. Come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tim Tuttle. I'm the CEO and founder of Expect Labs, and we are a San Francisco technology company. And for the past 3 years, we've been building a cloud-based service that makes it possible for companies to create really great voice-driven interfaces in any application and any device. Our company got started as a group of AI researchers from MIT and Stanford. And along the way, we got backing from some of the biggest tech companies in Silicon Valley, including Google and Samsung and Intel. And today, I am very happy to show you a demonstration of our new platform that we built for creating really great voice-driven content discovery experiences. So the opportunity that we are focused on is very clear. In the next 3 years, you are going to start to see really great voice experiences show up everywhere. They're going to be in your home, in your office, in your car, and you're going to come to rely on them every day to find information very quickly. The reason this change is going to happen is because we are going to live in this world where we're surrounded by devices in all shapes and sizes. Most of these devices won't have keyboards, and so the only way for us to have really good, rich interactions with these devices is through inputs like voice. The other reason that this technology is going to be everywhere is because, at long last, it's finally going to work great. I'm going to give you a glimpse of that in the demo that I'm going to show you today. So if you are a developer and you want to create really great voice interfaces in your app, you want to take advantage of the native speech-to-text that's becoming available in the OSs, and you want to make it so that users can talk to your app if they want to, today, that is a very big technology challenge to get across. You'll have to write pretty sophisticated natural language processing code to understand what your users are saying. You're going to have to create a searchable knowledge graph that captures all the important concepts in your domain. Could be millions of concepts that powers the inference of the system. You're going to have to implement some pretty sophisticated machine learning technology in order to find exactly the right answer for whatever question your users ask. Today, if you're going to take on that challenge, you would need to have a room full of really great developers, and it would take them 6 months, 12 months, if not longer, to build even a very simple application. This is exactly the problem that MindMeld is designed to solve, and today I'm going to show you how you can build a really great voice experience literally in a matter of minutes, because I'm going to do it in the remaining 2 minutes and 30 seconds that I have left here. So let me show you how it works. So to check it out, you go to our developer center, which is at developer.expectlabs.com. This is the place where you can find out everything you want to know about the API. You can even sign up for a free account and get started building apps right away. Now, I'm going to log into my existing account, and I'm going to create a new application. And this application is going to be able to answer spoken questions about movies. And so I'm going to call it Movie Genius. Now, the first thing you have to do when you build a new app is give it a knowledge graph or a knowledge base to base its answers on. And if the content for that knowledge graph is on the web, you can use this great tool that we have called the Crawl Manager. And you can point it at your website, or you can point it at many third-party websites. And I will point it to Rotten Tomatoes, which has really good information about movies. And it will build the knowledge graph automatically from this website. So what's happening here is our cloud infrastructure is launching a bunch of processes that are going to this website, analyzing the content, looking for things like semantic markup tags that describe the meaning of the content. And then once it has an idea of the types of objects that it's looking for, in this case movies, it will go from page to page looking for objects that match that pattern. And when it finds them, it will add new entries to the knowledge graph one by one. And in a few seconds, you'll start to see those objects start populating the knowledge graph in this tool. So I'll let this run in the background. Now, the second thing that developers want to do is they want to set up a really good voice-driven front end in their mobile app or their website. We make this as easy as dropping in a few lines of code into your existing app. In fact, if you care what the code looks like, this is what you could drop into a browser app to set up a really good voice UI, 10 lines of JavaScript code. Nothing more than that is required. And I will show you the UI that this delivers in your app right out of the box that, of course, you can customize. And I'll run an example of a search here. So what's that movie where Tom Hanks gets attacked by the Somali pirates? Great, Captain Phillips. Let me do another one. Show me some movies that are directed by Martin Scorsese. And which one of those star Leonardo DiCaprio? Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. And what's the one where he plays the undercover cop in the Boston police force? Awesome. So just like that, without writing a single line of code, I've created an awesome voice-driven experience around my own content, and you can do the same. Go to developer.expectlabs.com, check it out, and let us know what you think. Thank you very much.
First of all, congratulations on making it work in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It looks great. Do you have to use your own content? I mean, in that case, you used Rotten Tomatoes. Can you sort of create apps around other people's content? And if so, how do you deal with the obvious questions around ownership content, things like that?
So most of our customers build these experiences around their own content, their own website, or their database. You can do this around third-party websites as well that allow their content to be crawled. So there's many sites out there that you find in search engines that want to syndicate their content through experiences like this. You know, movie websites, video databases, product catalogs, and those are really great candidates to set up an experience like this.
Can you tell us a little bit about your product adoption so far and maybe one or two successful use cases?
Yeah, so we launched this platform in late February this year. To date, we have several hundred companies that are building applications on this platform. We signed deals with several large companies. We have a 7-figure revenue run rate for this year, which is awesome for being out of the gate for 3 months. And some of our customers that we haven't announced include some of the largest on-demand video companies, automotive companies in the world right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Our next contestant is Mobile Bridge. Please welcome Ayel Oster.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me here. I'm Ayel. I'm CEO of Mobile Bridge. I'm really humbled to be here in front of this great audience. Mobile Bridge is based in Amsterdam, and we have a couple of offices in the US. And what we do is we do marketing automation. So we've created the Marketing Automation Cloud, which is focusing on the mobile customer journey. Now, we've heard a lot of stories about, and a lot of companies are focusing about messaging and about targeting the right audience, and that's really a great thing. The problem is that messaging is just not enough. It just doesn't cut it. You actually have to create a journey out of it, a really meaningful journey out of this whole story. How do you create that journey? You create a journey by basically creating some assets. Then you need to have a delivery mechanism which would target those assets to the right audience, contextually correct, on time, target, and so on. And then you need to basically choose your audience and location and build a sequential or nonlinear journey out of it. And this is pretty much what we do. So what I'm going to show you right now is a live demo. We've created a very small app just for this show. And this app is empty. It just has the Mobile Bridge SDK embedded into it. And I'm going to show you a very short customer journey out of lack of time here. And then I'll show you how we actually create the assets for the journey, how we target the journey, and how it all works together, how it all comes down together. So my phone, I assume, is on the screen. Here we go. So we'll start with basically an asset which is a contextual coupon. So I'm clicking on a banner, and basically this takes me, great, here we go. It takes me to a contextually gamified coupon. Now, as you can see, this message tells you that if you share it on Facebook, you can actually get a discounted price even further. So I'm going to save it to the wallet that MobileBridge has inside its SDK, and it's now saved into the wallet. And as you can see, this is a gamified coupon. Now, I've chosen intentionally the real smallest game that we have. So I'm going to scratch this card to get my discount, and this is a Pirelli discount. You can see that basically they're trying to sell Pirelli tires to you. The original price was $550, and we just got a $50 discount. Now, as I said before, it's a contextually priced coupon, so if I'm going to share this now on Facebook, and that's what I'm going to do now, you just saw the price drop from 500, so that's the second price drop of this coupon. Now, this coupon is not only contextually aware, so behaviorally aware, it's also location-based, which means that in terms of the customer journey that we've created here, we've chosen to geofence this coupon to 2 dealers of Pirelli right in San Francisco. So actually, in this case, if you would be going to that dealer, you would basically have some kind of notification telling you that you can enjoy this coupon. Now, I'm going to activate this coupon, and what we do is we basically are connecting to external systems which allow you, such as the CRM of the company or the point of sale system of the company. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to activate the coupon. So I'm going to play that game of the cash register. And activating that coupon basically activates our anti-fraud detection system, which checks first for fraud if there's fraud in this coupon. As you can see, it's engaging with my phone. The promotion is redeemed, and it's not available anymore. And that's pretty much it. Now, immediately as part of this journey, I get a satisfaction survey, which typically would be sent to me like a day later. Okay? So this satisfaction survey, as you can see, I can fill it in and so on and so forth, submit it, and there we have it. So that's a very, very small journey. And I'll now very quickly go to my laptop and show you how to create these assets. So if we go, for example, to this coupon, we go to the layout editor, and what we focus on at MobileBridge is creating the assets as well as actually creating the journey. So you can see that we have a drag and drop interface where you basically drag and drop all your elements. This is HTML5, but on the phone itself, it's actually packetized, encrypted, and shown in complete native mode. And then obviously we can make our audiences, choose the type of audiences that we would like to do. For example, we would like to use sensor information to choose the audience. We would like to choose location information for the audience, historical location information, different types of triggers and filters that you can do to create the journey. I don't have time to actually show you how we create the journey, and I also don't have time to bore you and tell you that we have analytics sitting behind the platform. So that's pretty much what we do. Mobile marketing automation, customer journey creation, and most importantly, assets connected to other systems.
Well done, right on time. Nicely wrapped.
So it sounds like it's for brick and mortar, or is it both?
It's both. It's connected to e-commerce. So what we do is we connect to e-commerce platforms, CRMs, and you can do e-commerce shops. So it works really great with both brick and mortar and also e-commerce shops.
And what are the types of companies that you're targeting in terms of how?
Enterprises mainly.
Enterprise, and so is it a large enterprise sale and then pushing?
Typically, yes.
Pirelli dealers or?
Pirelli dealers, we work with Swarovski crystals, we work with Nestle, a few divisions of Nestle. We work with companies like Ferrero, which is the maker of Nutella, AAA, so different types of enterprises and different verticals, banking, Swiss banks, any company that would actually want to engage with their audience contextually as part of a customer journey on mobile, but then skipping from mobile to other, so you can actually start on web and then skip to mobile, come back to web, go online, and then back and forth.
So you're in Amsterdam?
The headquarters is in Amsterdam, R&D team is in Tel Aviv.
You realize you're missing a World Cup game right now, right?
I don't want to know, I'm old.
Actually, the score is 32-4.
Oh, I imagined that, so go
right.
on.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, our next competitor is Mind with a Y. Please welcome Max Wheeler.
So I'm Max Wheeler. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mind. Mind is a smart and contextual calendar application for iPhone that uses predictive technology to help you get things done better and more efficiently. We launched Mind in August of last year. We had a great response from the press and from our users. The team behind Mind has got deep mobile experience. We were at Good Technology together building mobile enterprise messaging solutions, and then at Motorola, we were part of the team that brought the company's first Android products to market. Now, Mind is aimed at busy mobile professionals. And this is a group of people that relies very heavily on their calendar. But why? Why would we go after mobile productivity? It's not the most exciting thing in the world to do. Well, it's because that group of people is relying more and more heavily on their smartphone, using it more and more every day. Flurry has recently reported 119% growth in productivity app usage this year over last year. Now, that's not because everybody decided to get productive all the time, all of a sudden. It's because usage is shifting from the desktop to the mobile. And the productivity solutions that come with your smartphone OS, honestly, they suck, right? They're not any good. And that's left a great opportunity for us in the consumer space, as well as even the enterprise space, to do something really cool. So I'll give you a quick demo. OK. So we can switch over to the demo. This is Mind's unique home screen. It gives you an at-a-glance look at your day. You can see what's coming up next, the weather, people, locations, interesting stats, and even your current Apple reminders. Mind also keeps you on time. You put drive times right in the calendar. We are constantly monitoring current traffic conditions to send you time to leave alerts. We have patent pending on the technology behind this. We tell you about who you're meeting with by putting information from your own address book and LinkedIn profiles right here in the calendar. Our Evernote integration makes sure that your notes are always there with you, and you can easily share those with others. Scheduling meetings is always a real bear, and on mobile it's horrible. But the Mind Scheduler makes it a snap. You can propose a few times for a meeting and send those off to attendees. It's just a couple of taps. You can pick times for a meeting. I like these times. And I'd send that off. And until the meeting details are finalized, they'll be blocked off in your calendar, so you don't overbook, unless you want to. Some do. Saving the best for last, I'd like to announce that we launched our latest version of Mind yesterday. And this one, amongst other things, introduces Mind Premium. This is our in-app subscription service. Mind Premium subscribers get access to a lot of features, but the marquee feature is Inside Mind. Inside Mind is for your time, what Mint is for your financials. It's analytics, reporting, visualization, and goal setting for your calendar. In my case, we see here the Inside Mind home screen. And this is a variety of stats and charts and graphs that we collect for you. We can see it in a day, week, or month view, and we collect up to 2 years' worth of data. These are the categories that I've defined that are helpful for me. You can define your own. We can drill down into expenses and see for this week all the meetings that had expenses associated with them. And now at the end of the month, when it's time to file that nasty expense report, I can just hit the export button here and get myself sent a whole email with all the list of all the attendees and locations and everything that happened. So it just makes that expense reporting process a snap. I also love using this for my weekly status reports. You can attach goals to categories. So there's a list of some of my goals that we have here. I can drill into my exercise goal. And the blue line at the top denotes where the goal line is. You can see, are you meeting your goals, or are you not meeting your goals? And you can look at it over a long period of time. Inside Mind also tells you about who you're meeting with. So these are the people that I've been meeting with. And if you are a consultant that bills for your client time, you'll find this invaluable to get a really accurate assessment as to how much time you spent with somebody. Inside Mind can tell you about the locations you're going to, and it can even tell you how much you've traveled. So this is the drive times over the last week. And if you drive for work and you need to expense write that off, this is huge. You could save hundreds of dollars with just this one feature alone. Now, Inside Mind is addictive. And so we see people use it. They want to keep using it. And that's why we're offering a 14-day free trial to anybody who wants to download and give it a shot. So again, I'm Max Beeler from Mind. Thank you very much.
Can you tell us a little bit about your go-to-market strategy, who you're targeting first, and how you plan to reach them?
Yeah, so we're targeting the mobile professionals. Right now, we're getting them through press, through partnerships. Evernote's got us up on their App Center. We'll be working with folks like Concur to get access to their audience as well. And it's been a lot of press. And the Mind Scheduler functionality also has turned out to be fairly viral as well. So as those emails go out, they tend to drive a lot of downloads.
What do you do with, say, somebody like me who sits behind a firewall? You know, I have to use Outlook. It's a controlled environment. It's not Gmail.
Right. So we wrote connectors to every back-end calendar system you can think of, and then threw them all away because it was easier to get access to the calendars that are already on your phone. So if you've already set up synchronization to your phone, we'll just pull the calendars right off of there. It's easier for the users, easier for us. It's just a seamless process.
Is that an enterprise sale you have to go through, or are you still hitting the individual user?
Yes, we're individual user only right now. As we get into the enterprise, we'll use a different back-end model for that.
That's a nice looking iOS app. When's the Android kind of come out?
Yeah, ironically, I have a team of Android experts, and we built the iPhone app first. That's one of our next avenues, is to go after that.
OK, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, and the last contestant in our early stage category is Pub Native. Please welcome Justin Forth to our stage.
Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Forth. I'm the head of global business development for Pub Native. Some of you may have read the news just yesterday. We've officially announced that we launched with a 7-digit round of funding from mobile marketing experts Aplift. Pub Native is the first truly native mobile advertising solution for app publishers. And what do I mean by that? Well, first we got to take a look at what the other options are for advertisers right now. If you take a look at banners and interstitials, they really take up a lot of space of the app. They're pretty annoying, and ultimately, they hurt the user experience. So I think that's why native advertising exists in the first place. When we look at the other native advertising options out there, you'll notice a few things that they all have in common. First of all, they'll offer maybe a few 5, 6, or 7 preset formats that, just like interstitials and banners, are very standardized. Within these formats, you might be able to perhaps have the character of your game present a banner for you, and it looks more like part of your game. Or maybe the colors and themes of your apps will be represented in the banners. However, it's still standardized. It's still not truly native. Another thing you'll notice is that they'll all require an SDK. SDKs can be quite problematic for app developers and publishers. They take up a lot of space. They take up a lot of time for your developers and your development resources. And they can even cause your app to crash from a third party. So ultimately, SDKs, standardized units, are making it hard to have anything that's truly native. So what's the solution? Well, Pub Native is the first truly native mobile advertising solution. We provided this solution with publishers in mind. We built it with publishers' input. We built it after talking to large and small app developers and publishers to determine what it is that they're looking for with native advertising. We did this all with no SDK. So if any of you are app developers or publishers, I'm going to repeat that. There's no SDK required here. Also, endless formats, endless possibilities. We're not going to limit it to standardized sets. And let me show you an example of how we've successfully integrated this in one of our partners. This is a game called Happy Mall by Happy Labs. And we'll take a look here at how they've done this. We've managed to integrate into this mall building app. You can walk around, say hi to the customers, maybe stop by the burger shop, get a cheeseburger and a milkshake, or walk to the front of the mall and you'll see some billboards. That's something you might very well expect to see at a mall. When you click on one of these billboards, you'll see that the owner of the mall, Isabel, has recommended a game that you might want to play. This is very in the flow of how this game already works, where this Isabel is guiding you through your process. Kim Kardashian's at the mall. Everybody loves Kim, so let's see what else we have. You get a chance to actually go through and download the game if you want to. This is truly part of the user experience. This is truly native. It doesn't have to be just app installs. We've opened up Pub Native to provide full control for the publishers. We want them to control their inventory as best as they can. So if they want CPI, we'll offer them cost per install. If they want CPM, we'll pay them out on CPM. It's all about how they can best serve their audience. What other levels of control? Well, again, there's no preset formats. So we'll help you build whatever format best serves your audience. We're also providing blacklisting and whitelisting functionalities. So you'll be able to have full control over what types of ads are being served. This is a problem we'd heard in the past that a lot of SDKs are providing kind of a black box of advertisements. We want you to have full control. You'll have access to the Pub Native Exchange, which is already accessing over 5,000 advertisement choices from global fill that is reaching about 90% plus worldwide. So you'll have full control over what it is that your ads are going to look like. Ultimately, we created this solution for the publishers first. We'll take a look at a few key achievements. We just launched yesterday, came out of stealth mode yesterday. Already we have a few publishers live, over 15 at this time. In the month of June alone, we hit over 500 million impressions. We have an eCPM optimization algorithm that's going to help our publishers get the best payout possible. And we have a team that is going in there every day and optimizing the ad serve on your behalf as well. Ultimately, this is the first truly native publisher-focused advertising solution. There's no SDK required. There are endless possibilities. There are endless formats. This is truly native advertising. Thank you.
So how self-serve is this? And you said we'll help you build.
Yeah. So ultimately, we think that the publisher has the best sense of how their app works, how their users interact with it. So we do have some sample code available on GitHub right now. We can take a look at how other people have been applying the API. But ultimately, we'll work with you every step of the way to help you get it integrated.
Do you consider that to be a scaling issue?
That's definitely one of the concerns that people have brought up is how are we going to scale all of these different formats? At this point, we do have a creative team that is working to optimize and scale any size image that might come in. But generally, the scaling issue has not really been too prevalent yet. So something we'll look forward to.
All right.
Cool.
Excellent.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Nice socks.
Thanks. All right, that's it for the early stage companies. We're going to get something up on the screen which will show you how to vote. And you can do this by texting a code to the number shown on the screen, 415-653-7787. And depending on which company you want to vote for, you send that number a different code. And I believe you can also do this using the Bizzabo app. There should be a poll within Bizzabo. Actually, AV, do you want to put those numbers back up for a couple more, like on a couple more seconds? Thank you. Just to give you all in the audience there a chance to contemplate and send the code that you want to the contestant that you want to vote for. So there will be a popular People's Choice winner at the end of today, as well as the Judge's Choice. OK, we're now going to move to mid-stage companies, companies that are a little bit further along in their development. And we will start with AppBoy. Bill Magnuson, please come to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Magnuson. I'm a co-founder at AppBoy. AppBoy is a marketing automation platform for mobile applications. And at AppBoy, we've always believed that success in mobile should be measured by more than just user counts and downloads. We've always believed that applications should be focused on things like customer engagement, customer success, driving real business metrics like revenue, monetization, or awareness. And so from the very beginning, we've always built our platform focused on trying to turn people's users into customers and to try and turn mobile applications into businesses. And with that platform, which includes our user profile system, our audience targeting, and a huge suite of messaging automation and marketing automation features, our customers have been able to increase their user engagement, lower the amount of churn that they have early on, lower the churn of longtime users, lift their monetization, lift their engagement, and lift their organic growth. And today, I'm really happy to announce 2 major additions to the Appboy platform. The first one is multivariate content testing for up to 6 message variations across all of Appboy's messaging platforms, which includes all of email, Appboy's native in-app messaging system, which lets you touch everyone that comes into your application regardless of messaging preferences and is highly customizable, as well as traditional push notifications on iOS, Android, Windows, and Unity. The second is optimal send time, which allows us to take the user profiles that we build on everyone and take the individual message medium the message being sent out at and analyze that user's behavior to figure out the optimal time to deliver a message so that the right message goes to the right user at the right time. So first, I'm going to start out with the user profile, because at Appboy, everything starts out with understanding who your user is. And you can see up on the screen here a profile for a typical user. You can see that Appboy automatically is collecting information around app usage, like sessions, median session length, when they've been using your application. We're also collecting the purchase history. We're able to take any sort of custom customer attributes or user lifecycle events so that people can run purchase funnels and they can target particular demographics within their user base. As well as engagement metrics, we're able to actually run things like trip campaigns or marketing funnels or re-engagement campaigns by looking at what people are responding to, what they're clicking on and opening and what they're not, and have a sophisticated marketing system set up that will all run automatically. So from there, once we have our users, and we have a user profile system at the scale of mobile, which can be tens or hundreds of millions of users, we need to be able to pick out the right audience. And you do that with Appboy's segmentation engine. Now, I've made a couple of segments here really quick, just to show you a little bit about the power of Appboy's segmentation. But you can see here that you actually are able to segment down on a whole plethora of attributes, being able to take any sort of custom instrumentation, as well as the retargeting that I mentioned before, marketing activity, any of their attributes, activity on social networks, location, and the like. So let's take a look at this one real quick. These are my Midwest power users. You can see that I've drawn a location filter around the states in the Midwest. And I've also included filters indicating that they need to have used the app more than 10 times and within the last week. We can also look at things like engaged recent users to see people that have used the application recently. And you can actually look that as I change these, we're actually seeing the statistics update in real time, telling me how many people are in that particular segment. So once I've targeted my user base, now it gets time to send messages. And this is the core of the product announcement today. I've made a multivariate campaign in advance, and you can see that this is Appboy's native in-app message. The first variant that I've made is a link-bait headline. I really hope this one fails, but increase user engagement and revenue with this one crazy new trick from Appboy. You can see that I've got 5 other ones. And as I flip through here, I can actually go to the schedule. And this is a really important part of the multivariate testing that Appboy provides, because it's not just sending out a message and figuring out which message is best. It's actually going to be able to test your marketing automation strategy. When you have a marketing automation campaign set up, it should be sending on a schedule so that you're delivering things to people in the morning or in their local time zone or at their optimal time to receive that message. And it's being delivered on particular days. What we wanted to be able to do is allow the multivariate test to run with the same schedule that your marketing automation will run with ad infinitum, so that you can remove any of the variables that might interfere with the test results that could be based on things like time zones, the particular day that it's delivered, and make sure that you're actually confident in the results. So then we can move on to look at the targeted users. We'll pick our test group. We'll run the test duration for 10 occurrences, which in this case is 10 days, and then we'll send it off. Now, when it comes time to actually choose a winner, I'm able to go and look at the message success over time across the various variants. I'm able to see the message sends, and you can see this is a test that's already ended. And then when I go to select a winner, I can pick the variation that has the highest open rate, and then I can choose a new schedule to send that on for the rest of the time of the message. And so that's Appboy's multivariate testing, and that's Appboy in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Judges.
So as a customer, what kind of data am I giving you? How are you accessing all the profiles? And
So there's a couple different classes of data. Application usage information, we're automatically collecting things like session opens and closes, device information. Location is automatically grabbed if the application has asked for things like location permission. Some of the social information is if you've connected your users to Facebook or Twitter, we'll automatically pull that in and incorporate it. And then the rest is instrumented by the application. So if you're incorporating it in with a customer or a subscriber database, you're able to pull in all of that subscriber information included on the profile. If people are even doing activity outside of your mobile application, you can load that data into the AppBoy user profile, and it all gets combined together. Or if you have people in multiple apps or across different devices, those all can be tied together on the same user profile and targeted within the segmenter.
So there are a number of players in and around the space. In your 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds you have left, what's the one piece you see as a clear differentiator as you go out and talk to people?
I think that AppBoy's sophistication of targeting and really starting from the user profile has been so important for us from a competitive perspective, because we started out from the very beginning as both an analytics system and a messaging system together. And that's been really key for us to be able to continue to provide more and more functionality and sophistication for people to really implement the marketing strategies that move the needle. It's not enough to just be able to bolt messages on an analytics platform or to be able to kind of look at those numbers. You need everything feeding back into itself so that you can do the retargeting, so that you can do funnels, drip campaigns, and really have that sophisticated level of targeting that AppBoy provides.
OK. Great. Thank you very much. Next up, we've got Apps Flyer. So please welcome Oren Kenyo.
Hi, everybody. I'll start by telling you how it all started. I was a student, like an exchange student in Wharton Business School back in 2010. And by profession, I'm an engineer as well, so I'm like engineer. And I was also working for a small VC fund in the East Coast, and I was talking a lot with a lot of developers about their marketing efforts on mobile. And I was shocked that they don't have any idea what's going on in terms of ROI and lifetime value, in terms of attribution. So basically, they've been spending money without really knowing what the return is, just hoping for the best. Like the whole industry of advertising came from TV and radio to something that you can really measure. I thought to myself, yeah, that's a really great challenge to solve in an engineering way. So this is why I started this company. So right now, back in 2011, we developed that unique technology that allows us to overcome the challenges in mobile. In mobile, you don't have cookies, you cannot track, and a lot of challenges in mobile, like app stores, Google Play, all your content is over there, as opposed to the web. Once we delivered that, and we allow the advertiser to measure ROI and lifetime value for each and every single dollar that they are spending, we allowed advertisers for the first time to bid and trade ads the same way as you are doing at the stock exchange. Can you imagine a stock exchange that you cannot actually measure each and every stock that you just bought? This is something that you just cannot believe that something like that can happen. And it's happening even today. Advertisers are spending money without really knowing what the return is. This is the equivalent of buying a stock or stock in the stock exchange without being able to see if you did right or wrong. Once we did that and we solved that, a whole ecosystem built around it. So right now, we are integrated with all the ad networks out there, including Facebook, Twitter, that we just announced that. Twitter announced that last week. So right now, this is not only measurement, this is also accessing the media and mobile media market. Like I mentioned, we're integrated with something like 500 different ad networks. 500 different ad networks. This is how fragmented the market is, and I believe it will increase. There is any signs of consolidation in that part. In few words, what we allow is one SDK to instrument your application and unify all the performance in one dashboard. We allow cost per action. So instead of just bidding for clicks, you can bid for installs. You can bid for specific action within the application. We allow ad validation. We also allow retargeting. We enable retargeting. There are a bunch of retargeting ad networks out there. To name a few, Facebook re-engagement ads, Google remarketing, Twitter, a bunch of other companies doing retargeting. But how do you segment your audiences? You can do that with us, with the SDK and the backend that we provide. Let me just give you an example. That's a very, very fresh example, how we saved $500,000 for one client in 1 hour. It was like a few weeks ago, one of our clients ran a campaign. The ad network did their own analysis about how many installs they delivered, and they came up with 250 installs. But when the client went to our dashboard, they saw only 60,000 installs. So there is like almost 200,000 installs that the ad network basically wanted to charge them. And that's $500,000 in media, right? So we did a quick analysis, and we identified that all these users, these extra users, were actually app updates. It's not a new install. It's not a new user. We identified that, and we just saved the client $500,000. And I can tell you that right now, we're measuring, give or take, like $50 million every month in media spent on mobile. I'm done. I have like 10 minutes.
Judges.
So tell me more, when you say we did the analysis for them, you mean the platform did it, or are you providing a service in addition to the platform?
Well, if there is a $500,000 here, you need to do some analysis, right? So this is where we came in, our support team, to analyze where the difference came. But everything is done automatically. They saw 60K installs, fresh installs during that weekend, and the ad network, with their count, did 250. So they contact us, of course, and we need to justify why we counted only 60. And we saw that all these users, all these extra users, most of them are updates.
So in order to get that level of data, then you have to have either some kind of support service from your organization, or this was a...
Oh, yeah, definitely. Support is a major part of our service. It's a software, a service, and a combination of very good support.
So how do you bill? What would you charge on a amount
software service?
Percentage spend plus some services piece, or?
It's a software service that we charge as you go. If you have a campaign, you pay for the attribution analytics around it, and that's it. We don't charge extra for professional services right now.
Okay, excellent. Oren, thank you very much. Next, we're going to bring to our stage Peel. Please welcome James. And somebody else whose name I don't know.
His name is also James, so we're covered. Thanks for sticking around for this. We're almost done, a couple more. I've got a couple of questions to start with. I'm going to assume that everybody in this room has a smartphone. And I'm going to assume that nearly everybody, if not everybody, watches TV. Now, how many of you have your smartphone in hand generally when you watch TV? Have a show of hands. About half, 3/4. So what studies have shown is about 75% of people who have a smartphone have it next to them when they're watching TV. And our own studies are showing something similar, that people are already engaging with this device while they're watching TV, around the TV programming. So it seemed very natural for us to create a better user experience for TV watchers, which is to put a smart remote app on a smartphone. And now what can you do with a smart remote? Well, a lot more than just change the channels. Of course, we can change the channels. We can control your DVR, your set-top box. Our app is optimized around the world for 600 different set-top boxes and thousands of different kinds of TVs and other electronic appliances. In addition to that, you can do content recommendations. So based on your viewing behaviors and preferences, we allow you to watch, we recommend programs that you're going to like to watch, so it helps in the TV discovery experience. And we're currently preloaded on about half of the smartphones and about a third of the tablets sold in the world through preload deals with Samsung, HTC, ZTE, and TCL, which are a couple of the fast-growing Chinese manufacturers. A lot of you, how many of you are currently using your smartphone as a smart remote? Nobody in this room? A couple of people, a few people. So we have 80 million activations worldwide. We're growing at about 10 million activations a month. And we expect to hit about 100 million in mid-August and hope to have 150 million activations by the end of the year. So there's a lot of people out in the world that want to use their devices with this purpose. And we feel that within the next year or two, it's going to be similar to the camera phone, that everyone's going to think of a smartphone as needing smart remote capabilities. But what we're here today to introduce is that we're taking this technology and platformizing it and allowing entertainment companies and TV production companies, networks, to leverage our back end to drive tune-in. So this is obviously, as the television world has gotten more complex, it's harder and harder for this diverse universe of small niche networks and larger networks to find their audience. So what we allow these people to do is to come to our peel.in site and generate a unique tune-in URL, which is a peel.in URL, and it's unique to every show. And we, on our back end, we've collected electronic programming information from hundreds of different countries, close to 200 different countries around the world. And depending upon where you are in the world, this tune-in link will tune you in on your TV, on your set-top box, to the correct programming. So there's a lot of back-end heavy lifting that's going on. And now what the TV companies can do is to share this link on Twitter or Facebook. We've already had several networks beta testing this over the last couple of weeks. We had the Black Entertainment Network promoting their award show. We had Univision promoting one of the World Cup games. HBO has promoted boxing. And basically what this link allows you to do is if you click on it on your smartphone, it will automatically launch the app. And if you don't have it, and again, half the smartphones being sold these days already have Peel preloaded. We hope to be on 100% within the next couple of years. And if you don't have it, we have an over-the-air solution. We're going to be launching shortly a solution for iPhones. And I guess so you can click on the Watch TV button, and that would tune your TV if you were in a room with the phone connected with your TV. So this particular smartphone I've programmed to turn on the Toshiba here. And we have it hooked to a TV connection. So the TV turned on, and as you can see, I can change channels on it. I think the camera's zooming in. Up. So I guess with all the smart people in the room, the extra brainwaves are disrupting this signal, and we're not getting the TV screen here, but let me see if we can tune this into the World Cup game. This is a universal remote. Let me see if it'll work on the big screen here. How are we doing big screen? Let's see this. Ah, there we go. All right. So there's a World Cup. All right. And we're in overtime? All right. Well, I guess we're done. You don't want to watch?
All right, judges. Anything not related to the World Cup you want to ask about?
So what, I'm assuming on the platform side you're licensing and getting paid by the content providers, but what's your revenue model in terms of people doing download? Are you charging for it? Are there premium features that you charge for? How do you monetize it?
Yeah, so we're actually currently not charging the content providers. We're using it as a distribution and activation mechanism. So it's a great activation mechanism. So people who've never activated the app that's on their phone could be activated through that link. The way we're monetizing is actually through tune-in banner ads right now. So we're going out to the same networks and saying, hey, you can pay us on a per tune-in basis to drive traffic to your shows and increase your ratings. And there's currently nothing else out there that allows you to do that. It's very difficult in TV to track the ROI on your ad spend, and we can actually offer people direct pay for a view of your show, and we're getting pretty good traction with that initially. We've also got some proprietary infrared remote technology. So we've actually kind of built a lot of the core infrared technology for Samsung and some of these other companies. So there's some licensing deals there with the technology. But on the app side, it's free. And we're primarily trying to monetize through advertising at this point. And
do you need some kind of infrared dongle, since most smartphones don't have an infrared?
So yeah, so almost all of the next generation of smartphones do have infrared. A dongle is another solution. So we have a major electronics manufacturer that's going to be releasing a dongle in the next couple of months that will integrate with our app. And then with the iPhone, we're going to have an over-the-air solution. A lot of set-top boxes now and some smart TVs are already connected to the internet. DirecTV certainly, and Dish, so we'll be launching shortly a solution that will also go over the air for people who don't have the IR technology on their smartphones.
Terrific. Thank you, James and James.
Thank you.
All right, I think the rule from now on should be anybody who wants to show the World Cup on screen live needs to give us a spoiler alert, so those of the judges who are TiVoing this can avert their eyes. All right, our last but not least contestant is Placed. David Shim, sorry, please come on stage.
My name is David Shim. I'm the founder and CEO of Placed, and we connect the digital to the physical world. So what we do that's really different is that we've built the world's largest opt-in location panel, where someone has installed an application that allows us to measure where they go 24/7. So why would a user do this? We actually pay them, give them gift cards, make a charitable donation on their behalf, or actually take premium features within applications and make them free. So we're really getting this opt-in first-party data from users to understand what they're doing in the physical world. So what do we do with that data? Why is it important? Well, from a Place perspective, what we do with that data is then we actually map that, and we have an attribution solution called Placed Attribution, where when you think about a mobile phone today, it's all about on-device. It's about who clicked on the advertisement, who actually installed the app, what was the interactions within the app, but what they're missing out on is the physical world. This device is always with you, but the conversion is never actually talked about. Did you then go into the store? Because you saw an ad for Best Buy, did you then walk into the store? And what Place does is we actually connect that, and we are able to do that through partnerships that we have with Millennial, Pandora, the Weather Channel, and just today we've also announced Opera MediaWorks and Conversant, where we're going in and we're taking log-level data for ad exposure, we're intersecting it with our panel, and we're able to go in and say, saw a mobile ad, and then went into the physical store. And that's huge. That is what is going to drive mobile moving forward. And I think the screen is actually on the wrong demo screen. No. I can say again? That works for me. So I'll keep talking until they switch the screen out. So from an attribution standpoint, it's huge. So to give you a statistic, we've actually run hundreds of campaigns where we've measured retailers and the effectiveness that they drive in terms of seeing an ad and going to the store. And when you look at the conversions from mobile ad exposure, 9 out of 10 conversions actually happen in the physical world. So imagine if you're a retailer and you serve up an ad that highlights, hey, come into our website or our actual retail store and actually make a purchase. Well, right now they're just measuring saw a mobile ad, clicked on the mobile website, and actually bought something. We're going in and we're finding that 9 out of 10 times when the conversion occurs, it actually occurs in the physical world. So really, from a mobile advertising standpoint, you're missing out on 90% of the value that is mobile advertising. And that's where Placed Attribution comes in. So from a insights perspective, what we're able to do is actually go in and show you that of the people that saw the advertisement, 4.7% of them actually went into store. It drove 78,000 people actually into the physical store. So now you're not going in and saying they clicked on the ad, that was great, they installed the app, that was great. You're going in and saying saw the mobile ad and then went in the physical store. And then we're actually able to break that down into a cost per store visit. So in this case, and this is actual data set, it was 48 cents cost per store visit. So it's great, it's in the restaurant category, but what they want to do next is they actually want to be able to understand, did that campaign actually drive lift? Did that actually make someone more likely to go into that physical restaurant? And what you see with that data is, you'll see the 4.71%, but then to the right of it, we'll look at the rest of the panel that wasn't exposed to the ad, and we'll measure lift. So what this is saying is of the people that were exposed to the ad, they were 23% more likely to go into the physical store. So now you're able to actually not only say saw an ad, went into the store, but what was the incremental lift that I saw? And then what we're seeing, once you have this data set, it changes the conversation. When you're talking about retailers like Macy's, Best Buy, Sears, Kmart, Target, it's about actually driving physical world sales. People forget that 90% of retail transactions actually happen in the physical world. So beyond just going in and actually showing you of the people that saw the ad, went in the store, and what was the lift, because we have a panel-based approach, because we get first-party data, we can give you demographics on who was actually exposed to the ad. So here in this campaign, you can see that males over-indexed at a 102. So they were 2% more likely to get the ad, but they were 12% less likely to go in the store because you see that place index of 88. So now all of a sudden, instead of going in and optimizing different creative units, you're actually optimizing audience. You're saying who is going to respond to mobile advertising. You can see here, females were underserved from an impression standpoint, but they were 8% more likely to go in the physical store. Additionally, we can break down age, where they served 14% more impressions to 35 to 44, but the conversion rate didn't match up. You're not seeing that same increase in index, but there's a huge opportunity between 18 to 24. You served less impressions to them, but they were more likely to convert. So it's really bridging that digital and physical world where you can take real world metrics like demographics and start to optimize campaigns using that data set. And then on top of that, we'll show you geography. So it's great. You can see where people go in the physical world. That's really interesting, and we've got a business for that. But then we'll also show you of the people who saw the advertisement, where are they from when they go into the physical store? So now you can actually optimize on geography. It's a very simple trait, but you can go in and say, I want to heavy up on my impressions and my delivery in Dallas-Fort Worth, because they are 91% more likely to respond to an advertisement, versus I'm going to pull away impressions from the Midwest because they're 16% less likely to respond to an ad and go into the physical store. And then from that data set, we can also go in and dive into path to purchase. So really starting to see how does the path go. So we can go in and tell you of the people that saw the ad, they were twice as likely to go to White Castle. They would go to gas stations. They're value conscious in terms of they go to Save-A-Lot and Family Dollar. But then on top of that, if you look at the right-hand side, what we're able to do is actually break down of the people who saw the ad that then went into your physical store, where else do they go in the physical world? And the value proposition there is now you've got a planning tool. You can go in and say, of the people that actually saw the ad, responded to it, I should actually geofence these locations like Chuck E. Cheese, Whataburger, Buffalo Wild Wings, because I'm able to actually say these audiences, these locations are more likely to have the customers that I want to reach.
All right.
Thanks.
How are you validating the in-store visit?
Yeah, so because we have an opt-in panel, we run a set of models, and we can say we've got the best models in the world, which we do, but we actually validate it because they have an app. We can push a survey to them and say, where were you at Tuesday at 2 o'clock? And we'll list 4 or 5 of the businesses that have the highest probability, a couple of fake answers, and you'll respond back, and that trains our models. So we get about 20,000 responses on a daily basis from our panelists to constantly train our models.
Is this primarily an enterprise sales model? And then if yes, can you talk about how long the sale is taking, and then also how this tool works with the other tools that marketers in a big enterprise are using? Yeah, so currently the tools that they use are really brand lift studies. So it's kind of, when you see that banner ad go up that says click on this, get $50 off, or get a $50 gift card, that's what they're using today to actually measure saw an ad, went into the store. They're saying, did that brand lift increase? What we're doing at the end of the day is we're working with the publishers. So this is the MinMobis, the Pandoras, the PayPals of the world. And they're going out to market because this is a demand that's out there. Dollars want to go into mobile, but if I can't show you that it actually works, I can't justify it if I'm the CMO, if I'm the VP of marketing. And what we're able to do is really show that value proposition.
Okay. How big is your panel?
200,000. So it represents about 1 in every 1,000 people in the US above the age of 13. So when you think about it, it's really going in and saying for every 1,000 impressions, we've got 1 person on our panel. Right. And to give you from a sample size perspective, we actually work with a number of retailers where they compare us against their in-store counters. We recently closed a round that was led by a hedge fund because they were specifically interested in the ability to front-run same-store sales numbers.
Okay, thank you, David.
Thanks.
All right, that was our final contestant. We will now show the codes for you to vote via SMS for the mid-stage companies that you feel should win. And judges, I think you can head backstage and confer among yourselves and pick a winner. So Charles Beeler, Todd Rumberger, Kira Wampler, and Brendon Kim, thank you very much. Let's give the judges a hand.